The Adriatic Sea has been feeding the coast of Croatia for centuries. Fishing has been particularly important for the inhabitants of Croatian islands. In the past, seafood was their primary source of food. Today, seafood-based cuisine is one of the main attractions for almost 20 million tourists that visit Croatia each year, and tourism is the only remaining industry on these islands. Goran has lived on the island of Šolta for most of his life. He bought his first fishing boat when he was 15. Like most other fishermen on the island, he often expresses his concern about the declining population of fish in the Adriatic. He blames people for it and the overfishing practices of other locals.
This is Šešula Bay. It cuts deeply into the island, which is why it is heaven for sailors. Even as a kid, I knew that sea breams and amberjacks come to this part of the bay to spawn. Huge masses, tons and tons of fish. While I know that fish shouldn't be messed with while they're spawn, other fishermen would come exactly at that time and throw casting nets. I once witnessed 2 tons of sea breams being caught in a fishing net. 10 years ago, fish stopped coming to Šešula. Only then did the government crack down on fishermen who were using such nets so close to the shore. Neither sea breams nor amberjacks came to the bay for 3 to 4 years, but started slowly coming back. It took 8 years for them to start spawning here again. Like, it remains to be seen how long it will take until the population is restored.
Sustainable fishing actually means leaving enough fish in the ocean and protecting the habitats and threatened species. By safeguarding the oceans, people who depend on fishing can maintain their livelihoods. The sustainability of fisheries can be achieved if their management is based on ecological principles. It can be assessed regardless of its size, geography, or fishing methods used. Globally, over 60% of assessed fish stocks remained overfished or fully fished. The effective implementation of the EU Common Fishery Policy would ensure that all fishing activities carried out by EU fleets are environmentally, socially, and economically sustainable. Improved compliance with rules, both in and out of EU waters, would help fight illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. It would also improve monitoring the origin and quality of seafood sold in the EU. Finally, it would help identify and protect sensitive species, securing long-term viability of fisheries, and boosting ocean resilience and biodiversity.
The highest reported global catch of fish was in 1996. Since then, our tools have improved significantly. The number of fishing boats has grown exponentially, and efforts to catch fish have increased dramatically. Yet we have never reached the catch like the one in 1996. There is only one explanation for this. There is dramatically fewer fish than there used to be. In Croatia, data is slightly different. Croatian islands often hosted military and naval ships in the past, and during the 1991 to 1995 war, there was almost no activity with commercial fishing boats. Large-scale fishing returned in 1996, a year after the war had ended. Yet the most plentiful national catch was in 2000. It took a mere 5 years to deplete the population of fish to a point where it started declining dramatically.
Three main principles are considered when assessing sustainability. The first one: can the fish population remain productive and healthy if we continue fishing indefinitely? The second one: can other species and habitats within the ecosystem remain healthy due to fishing activity? And the third one: are fishing operations well managed? Such fisheries must comply with relevant laws and be able to adapt to changeable environmental conditions. Sustainable fisheries have social, economic, and environmental benefits. They protect marine fauna, use selective fishing methods, avoid waste, contribute to food security, generate jobs and are more responsible, generate less waste, minimize energy consumption, reduce the use of chemicals that damage the ozone layer.
I love catching red porgies the most, especially big ones, which weigh 9 to 10 kilos. That is a kind of fish that chooses its habitat and sits at the bottom in huge schools weighing around several tons. From my experience, if you catch 40% of the fish from that school, the rest of them will leave and never come back to the same place again. That's why when I go fishing and the fish are biting, I only take 1 or 2 big ones with me and go home. I want to be able to come to the same place in 15 years and catch a big fish to eat with my friends. I want my children to be able to come to the same place and catch a big red porgy. That's why everybody should offer respect and gratitude to the sea.